Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin maintaining above 63 Gs. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. Bitcoin is, we built our own money. F you. The current crop of Bitcoin spokespeople in the media, boring as what? Bitcoin is the most subversive thing ever. Bitcoin is a live grenade. It is not a bouquet of daisies you give to your grandmother. Tell him, Max. We'll also be discussing the best opportunity for Bitcoin ahead. Bitcoin post-halving reaccumulation setup is forming, according to on-chain analyst Willy Woo. We'll also be discussing, is Bitcoin set for 400% gains against gold? Well, according to this veteran analyst, it is. We'll also be discussing billionaire Ray Dalio says the 35.3 trillion U.S. national debt will not reverse. I'll be sharing his outlook. We'll also be discussing, it has to be now. Raoul Pal unveils massive Bitcoin price target of 200,000, says Bitcoin is repeating the 2023 rally perfectly. We'll also be discussing Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki reveals a shocking 500,000 price prediction for 2025, with Bitcoin hitting 1 million by 2030. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. But anyways, fam, if you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Go ahead and subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin channel, and also hit the bell icon. Turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when JV goes live. Today is pod 1765. I'm your host, JV. It is Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. Let's break it down. Bitcoin's been maintaining above 63,000 pretty much all weekend. So that's a good sign. I think when the markets reopen here tomorrow, we'll continue our ascent to price discovery, which is roughly the $74,000 ballpark, which we hit back in mid-March. Let me know if you agree with that. You know, fourth quarter is right around the corner. We only have another week left of September, and then things are about to get lit, as they always are around this time. Let me fix my zoom on my screen. My camera auto zoomed back out, and I like it a little more zoomed in. 1 second, family. Let me see. Fix that. There we go. That should do the trick. We should be good. Yeah, let me know if that looks better. I appreciate it, family. But yeah, without further ado, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. This is Coin 360. We have pulled up. We're sitting just above 63,300. We have Ether trading just under 2,600, while Solana, Cardano, AVAX, XRP, Tron, the majority of the alts correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at $2.2 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap sits at $1.24 trillion. We got roughly 48 billion worth of the volume in the past 24 hours. And the current Bitcoin dominance back on the rise at 56.7%, with the Ether dominance at 14.1%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Pendle leading the pack, followed by Helium and Sue. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say, I'd say 90% of the market correcting and in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, I'd say 60-40 red over green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index today, we're still in neutral at 52. Yesterday, 54. Last week at 51. And last month, 34 in fear. So there you have it, yo. There's the latest market watch. Let's continue with our technical analysis. We'll pull up some of the live charts and see what's popping here with the price action. Headline here reads, Bitcoin weekly RSI sparks intermediate 85,000. Bitcoin price target, price discovery. Let's go. That's right. Bitcoin continues to hold 62, now 63 here this afternoon. Haven't seen a lasting bounce off September support, 10,000 lower. Now optimistic Bitcoin price forecast. See, good times only. Let the good times roll. Getting better for the bulls. For Titan of Crypto, the analyst says the first stop, 85 Gs. Uploading a chart of Bitcoin's RSI on the weekly time frame, he suggests that momentum was gathering to take the market to a new all-time high and beyond. Bitcoin 85 Gs, intermediate target, as he shares here alongside the chart. The weekly RSI, which is relative strength index, breakout signals, and explosive move by the end of the year. For the biddy, fourth quarter targets in play. Let's go. And that's just an intermediate target, family, at 85. RSI is a classic trading indicator used to define likely local tops and bottoms, while additionally giving insight into the strength of an uptrend or downtrend at a given price point. And speaking of bottoms, no diddy. The weekly RSI currently sits above the 50 out of 100 mark, breaking a downtrend that has been in place since March's latest all-time high. Titan of Crypto added that if September ends in the green, the uptrend should continue throughout Q4, quoting him here. Historically, when September closes green, Q4 has been bullish. If we close above 59,000 this month, a bullish end of the year is likely, and I mean that's a given. We're currently at 63. We've got another week. We may close way higher. However, even with a red close, both 2017 and 2020 saw green Q4s, promising Q4 ahead. And this is the Bitcoin monthly returns, as you can see, for September. Typically in the red. We've had a few, though, obviously in the green. And now fourth quarter is where things are about to get very lit. Now, elsewhere, we have another analyst, Scoo, said that more confirmation of Bitcoin price strength was needed over the coming week, quoting him here. From a technical perspective, this does look pretty good. A series of higher highs and higher lows would be needed on the daily time frames, and he tagged 61 as the key level to hold. Furthermore, on 61 lows, it provides a clear line in the sand for the market. He concluded. Now, before I pull up the live charts, let's quote Max Kaiser here. Bitcoin is, we built our own money. F you. The current crop of Bitcoin spokespeople in the media are boring as what? Bitcoin is the most subversive thing ever. Bitcoin is a live grenade. It is not a bouquet of daisies you give your grandmother. Very well said there by Max. And let's pull up some of the live charts, starting with the daily, brought to you via TradingView via Coinbase. You should be able to see live and on your screen. We do have a target here in the 1 hour chart you need to be aware of. It's a bottom target sitting at 59,300. We do have a rising wedge formation, which kind of just started trading sideways. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's zoom out. We'll check out the 4 hour and work our way out. Here's the 4 hour chart. We also have some bullish targets here along with a bullish pennant. The blue target most north is 81,777. Send it. Definitely a good omen there. We have a bottom target as well you need to be aware of 36,464. And zooming out from the 4 hour, we'll check out the 1 day chart. Live and in the flesh. Looking pretty bullish to me. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we had 4 green consecutive daily candle closes, which is good. Let's see how today ends up as we're approaching the end of the day as far as the close. But things are looking bullish, in my opinion, on the daily. We do have a target you need to be aware of, though, sitting at 47,700. And zooming out a little further, we'll check out the 1 week, which always has that sexy cup and handle target. Today, that target is sitting at $124,600. I think we can hit that particular target here in Q4 between October and December. You let me know your thoughts. And zoom out a little further. We'll check out the monthly chart. We got another week, and then we get the monthly close. But earlier in the year, I mean, we had 7 green consecutive monthly closes, and then we've been trading sideways ever since. So let's see if we end up ending September or September before entering the fourth quarter. Let me know your thoughts, family. Let's continue. Willy Woo, on-chain analyst. Here's the latest from him. The headline reads, best opportunity for the biddy, Bitcoin post-halving. Reaccumulation setup forming, according to Willy Woo. That's right. Willy Woo says one classic indicator is suggesting that now is the opportune time for the bulls to position themselves for the Bitcoin next leg up. No diddy. Woo looks at the Pure multiple, which has been used to call the tops for the Bitcoin. The Pure multiple is ratio between the daily coin issuance in dollar terms and the 365-day moving average of the daily coin issuance, aiming to provide an oscillator derived from minor profitability and income stress. Hey, Woo shares a chart that smooths out the Pure multiple to roughly pinpoint when the indicator passes from bullish to bearish, quoting Willy Woo. Famous quote from Dr. Puel, the best time to buy the Bitcoin is at the bottom. The second best time to buy is at the post-halving reaccumulation. He didn't say it in words, he said it in numbers. I have cleaned his model up to say it a bit clearer. And you can see the Bitcoin Pure Multiple chart shared here by Willy Woo. Now, at the time, the Pure Multiple is still under 1, suggesting Bitcoin doesn't yet have the momentum it needs for a sustained rally, but it does hint that Bitcoin is gearing up for a bullish regime. Wu also says the Bitcoin inventory on the crypto exchanges suggests that the price action is currently neutral bearish, but that a liquidation triggered reversal was possible. Quoting him again, short-term continuation of a bullish swing, likely 1 week left in play, which means right at around October's beginning. October, let's go. He also says medium term, we're seeing lots of spot Bitcoin being scooped up. Exchange inventory accounting for derivatives remains flat, but this could change quickly if we get a short squeeze. The chart pattern is forming a bull flag. Current demand and supply is neutral bearish, but signs of moving into a bullish structure if we get some liquidations. Cautiously optimistic. And he also shared this chart showing you the Bitcoin inventory currently available on the exchanges. It looks like 3.6 million paper plus spot BTC, which we can see in the purple line there in the middle. I mean, supply shock likely. If not here, Q4, I do believe we'll get a genuine supply shock in 2025, which will send the Bitcoin price action parabolic. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you agree, disagree with the on-chain analyst, the one and only Willy Woo. Let's continue with the news. Let's continue where we leave off. Next headline here, family. Is Bitcoin set for 400% gains against gold? Well, according to this veteran analyst by the name of Peter Brandt, yeah. Let's break it down. Bitcoin's market cap has skyrocketed by an astounding 350,000% since its inception compared to traditional safe haven rival gold. Do you hear that, Peter Schiff? Bitcoin's up 350,000% against your favorite precious metal. New signal suggests Bitcoin may be on the verge of another extended price rally, signaling renewed momentum against the precious metal. Let's break it down. The Bitcoin/gold ratio chart compares the asset's performance and could serve as a barometer to gauge Bitcoin's adoption rate compared to gold. For instance, the rise in the ratio reflects Bitcoin outperforming gold in terms of market cap performance and vice versa. According to veteran market analyst Peter Brandt, the Bitcoin to gold ratio may rise by more than 400% in 2025. Send it. Brandt cites a classic technical pattern for his extremely bullish outlook, dubbed the inverse head and shoulders. The pattern develops when the price forms 3 consecutive troughs with a middle trough called the head, the deeper than the other 2 called the left and the right shoulders. The pattern forms beneath a common support line called the neckline. And as a rule of TA, an IH and S pattern resolves when the price breaks above the neckline while accompanying a rise in trading volumes. And in doing so, it rises by as much as the maximum distance between the neckline and the head's deepest point, as you can see in the Bitcoin/gold weekly chart shared right here. Now, applying the same technical principle to the Bitcoin gold ratio chart brings its upside target to around 123. In other words, the price of 1 Bitcoin may equal 123 ounces of gold as early as 2025, up by over 400% compared to 24 ounces as of September 22nd, 2024. Now, the idea of Bitcoin overtaking gold has been fueled by its rapid adoption, particularly by the institutional investors, and the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs, which have bolstered Bitcoin's presence in investment portfolios. The approval of the Bitcoin ETFs have resulted in inflows of over $17 billion since January of 2024, with projections that the Bitcoin ETF market can grow as much as $220 billion by 2027 using gold ETFs as a benchmark. In addition, experts like Anthony Scaramucci argued that Bitcoin will eventually surpass gold's market cap within the next decade, citing Bitcoin's advantages such as scarcity and portability. That's right. Bitcoin, when compared to gold, is superior in every aspect you can compare it to. And I also believe that the Bitcoin market cap will eat away the gold market cap. And the gold market cap, I don't know right now, maybe 13, 14 trillion. Keep in mind, Bitcoin's still a baby. It's only 1 trillion or 1.2 trillion. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And considering the total addressable market is north of, Jesus, probably $900 trillion. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money in the world. Bitcoin's a nascent asset class right now, family. Next, we're going to be discussing Ray Dalio, discussing the $35 trillion debt. Headline here reads, billionaire Ray Dalio says 35.3 trillion U.S. national debt will not reverse. I mean, common sense here. Bridgewater Associates founder Ray Dalio says America's $35.3 trillion national debt will continue to grow no matter who wins the race for the White House. In a new interview with Bloomberg at the Milken Institute Asia Summit 2024, Dalio says the fast approaching November election represents a crossroads. See you at the crossroads so we won't be lonely. Remember that Bone Thugs track back in the day? Anyways, for a number of critical issues, including taxation and the reach of the federal government, the billionaire believes the national debt is bound to be ignored while the government uses inflationary policies to reduce the real burden of its debt. Quoting the billionaire here, we have an enormous amount of debt. That's an understatement. And it's going to keep increasing. And one man's debts are another man's liabilities. Nobody is going to deal with the debt policy. That's going to end up being monetized down the path. And regardless of the electoral outcome, Dalio sees the U.S. heading towards a more fragmented existence where portions of the country look to their state government for leadership due to the irreconcilable differences with the next administration. Dalio says he also focused on candidates' tax policies and the impact they have on the markets, quoting him again. Then the question is issues of taxation, and those issues of taxation will have an important effect on the capital markets. They are brought after tax returns by and large. You lower corporate income tax, you raise income taxes, it makes a difference to prices. So we're going to have those issues. A lot of issues to talk about regarding the election. Now, as you know, one thing I know regarding taxes, Harris come out straight up and said she wants to more than double capital gains tax. So hypothetically, say it's 20% right now. I think she said raise it to 45%. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just what I recall. And she also mentioned unrealized gains taxes, which is the definition of idiocracy, stupidity. Nobody wants to pay taxes on unrealized gains. Just imagine owning a property, such as a house or some cryptocurrency, and you hodling, doing the right thing, and then you have $1 million in unrealized tax gains, and you got to pay taxes on that. What about tax benefits for unrealized losses, which are the majority of the investors in the world? Most people are losers when it comes to gambling or just investing in general. I don't think they're going to allow you to write that off, but they want to tax you for unrealized gains. Imagine that. Imagine Michael Saylor up $10 billion on his Bitcoin investment for MicroStrategy and having to pay taxes on $10 billion worth of unrealized taxes or gains. Mind-boggling. But that's what one of the administrations is trying to do, so now you know. But anyways, let's continue with the news, shall we? Still got a lot to share. We discussed the latest $35 trillion debt. Now let's discuss some bullishness, the exciting part. We're going to discuss the 200,000 target from Raoul Pal, and then we'll be discussing a 500,000 target from Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki and from a recent X post that he shared. You should be able to see the screen here. Headline reads, "It has to be now. Raoul Pal unveils massive Bitcoin price target and says the biddy is repeating the 2023 rally perfectly." That's right. Raoul Pal believes the stage is being set for Bitcoin to explode to his massive price target. Let's go. In a new video he posted on YouTube, the former Goldman Sachs exec says Bitcoin tends to rise and fall along with the global liquidity cycles. He shares a chart suggesting the global liquidity will surge over the next 3 months, with Bitcoin following suit. Quoting him here, "It is an absolutely beautiful chart. It is the Global Macro Investor Global Weekly Liquidity Index. So that's both private sector liquidity and public sector liquidity from large global economies. It is just perfect. It leads by 10 weeks. So you've got that. You've got Bitcoin seasonality. Bitcoin is always strong from this point onwards." And he makes a good point. We're entering the fourth quarter, historically the most bullish time of the season. Now, Powell also shares another chart suggesting Bitcoin is closely mirroring its price action from January of 2023 to March of 2024, when Bitcoin jumped 350% from 16.5, which was the bottom, to the high of roughly 74,000, which we achieved mid-March. And according to the macro guru, conditions look ripe for the Bitcoin surge. Quoting him here, "Bitcoin is also repeating what it did last year, literally perfectly. So we have got the macro overlay. The Fed is going to keep cutting over time. The other central banks are going to be involved. We have got the seasonality in place. We have got the global liquidity cycle in place. I don't know what else is left. It has to be now. And look at this sexy chart. It shows us running up to roughly $220,000 per coin. Send it. Now, looking at the chart, he seems to predict Bitcoin will skyrocket above 200,000 by early next year. Q1. Send it. Let's go. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the macro guru. My personal target for this year, 125, but that's modest. Next year, anywhere from 222,000 is my bottom target. That means like my bear scenario. My bull scenario is all the way up 750,000. I think anything is possible. This is unprecedented times. We have institutional adoption we have never witnessed before in the history of Bitcoin. Previous cycle driven purely from retail. I don't even think the retail even began yet this cycle. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know. Now for our featured story of the day. Here's the Bitcoin price forecast from Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki. He reveals a shocking $500,000 target for next year in 2025, along with $1 million target. So let's break it down. He actually just recently did a tweet. So let's start with the tweet, and then we'll read this article, which is based off the tweet he just put out. So this is something Robert Kiyosaki shared on September 20th, so 2 days ago. So it sounds like Friday, got roughly 136,000 views. Here's what he wrote. Most important book today. Friend Jim Rickard sent me an advanced reader copy of his soon-to-be-released book, Money GPT. Please order a copy and study. It's frightening because AI is going to shake up the world of money. The good news, Jim Rickard's prediction means Bitcoin may soon top $500,000 in 2025. Boom. And $1 million per coin by 2030. And the crowd is going wild. Jim's book, Money GPT, will be out soon. Reading it will give you an inside track to the future. So there's a very bullish prediction. Let me know your thoughts of Bitcoin hitting 500,000 in 2025. It's right in alignment with my personal prediction, which I just previously shared with you. I say my bottom bear scenario for the cycle peak next year is 222, and my bull scenario is 750, and 500 is pretty much right dead in the middle. So shout out Kiyosaki, 500,000, send it. Let's freaking go. And let's dive deeper into this article, which was based off of his recent posts. Renowned financial author Robert Kiyosaki has again made the headlines with his bull Bitcoin price prediction. And by the way, how many of you have read his classic book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Let me know. Now, most notably, Rickard's prediction that Bitcoin can surge to $500,000 per coin next year and possibly reach $1 million by 2030. Now, regarding the million target, you know I've been preaching every day. My personal target is 1 million by 2029, which is the year after the next halving, scheduled to take place roughly of April of 2028. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. This forecast aligns with Kiyosaki's long-held view. A Bitcoin as a hedge against economic uncertainty and a means of preserving wealth amidst a volatile financial landscape. So with the crypto market becoming increasingly attractive to institutional investors and advancements in blockchain tech, Kiyosaki's 500,000 prediction for 2025 might not be as far-fetched as it seems. To me, it's right on the money. However, reaching such price targets would require major shifts in market dynamics, including stronger adoption of the BITI as a digital store of value and as a favorable regulatory environment. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Obviously, I think we do have a favorable environment for Bitcoin. I mean, it's one of the main topics of discussion now with the election. Trump talking about embracing Bitcoin and stockpiling it for the United States of America and making the United States basically a Bitcoin mining hub. Yeah, I mean, and then we have not Robert Kiyosaki, I meant to say RFK Jr. as well, who promised to like purchase, I forget the exact amount, maybe 400 Bitcoin per day as a strategic reserve play for the United States, and ultimately stockpile 4 million Bitcoin. Trump said he would never sell any Bitcoin. Trump said he'd fire Gary Gensler day one if he gets elected. He said he would free Ross Ulbricht. So a lot of bullishness in the market, considering probably 50 million Americans are Bitcoiners or crypto enthusiasts. That's a large portion of the United States, so they know what's up. So Bitcoin has become that big. It's a major talking point this election. It's just major around the world. We have nations adopting it. You know, Bukele led the movement back in, what was it, 2021, adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender. There's other countries talking about that now. Just very bullish landscape. Macroeconomics, very bullish as well. The institutional adoption we didn't witness last cycle is here. We've had over 20 billion in volume from the ETFs for the spot for Bitcoin, just from BlackRock alone. Then you got Fidelity, all the other asset managers. Now we have Hong Kong's ETFs. A lot of bullishness, and I don't think that's going to slow down. I think adoption is only going to continue to snowball, like a snowball effect. But you let me know your thoughts, and what do you think regarding Rich Dad's 500,000 target for next year and 1 million by 2030? And I'll read your comments out loud. The Oracle wrote 500,000, 750 cycle peak 2025. I've been saying it for months. You say it every day. I read it out loud every day. The indicators on the monthly and the daily are showing extremely bullish. I agree with you there, 100%. I agree with Kiyosaki and you. 220 to 450. I read it, JV, right on phone stand channel. That's what's up.